But another thing, since yesterday, man, I've had a bad taste in my mouth for the first time in a long time in regards to Brandon Beane. I hated how he handled that Von Miller situation yesterday. This guy was charged. These aren't allegations. He was arrested and charged. He had to turn himself in. And I just think it's a slap in the face. You want to preach character and culture, and you want to pound the table for that, sign me up. But you know what? That player, I don't care who it is, that victim is, until all this is settled, until we know for sure what's going on, the Bills do not have to play him. And I just thought it could have been handled way better. And you know what, Chris, to say on the show that they're just allegations, and we're talking about a guy that's warranted on the sidelines for getting into it with another player, but then to blow it off yesterday, that was ridiculous on the show too. I honestly, but
I don't think I was blowing it off. The point. Hold on, I don't think I was blowing it off. The point.
The Bills are 12-0, so
yeah. I mean, I don't think I was blowing it off, Mark. The point I was trying to make was because some people were talking about how quickly Matt Araiza was moved off this roster, and I was trying to make the point that they were two different situations only because one was much further along in the process than the other. The Araiza situation had already had a criminal trial date set. It's underway. It's going. This is something the kid's going to be facing.
Either, Chris.
What's that?
That's not true either. No, it's not. They knew about that going into it, and it was a civil case.
No, Mark, they did not know about it. Mark, they did not know about it. They said that after the fact. They said some people did know about it, and it was kept quiet by whoever it was. And I'm sorry, what?
Doing on background checks for this team?
Wait, hey, don't. That's beside the point, Mark. That's beside the point. Nobody knew until he had been drafted, or at least until after he'd been drafted, and then it's all hit. And then you can't say you shoulda, coulda, woulda, did. You didn't. So there you go.
Let's say it like it is. Steve, let's say it like it is. You got $32 million invested in a player. He deserves due process. You have a couple $100,000 invested in a punter, and he doesn't get crap. So don't preach this culture and all this character stuff. That's how you're going to play it.
Well, here's the thing, too, Mark. I'll say this about both things, particularly in Vaughn's case, and not for nothing. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not making any judgments or anything like that.
Yeah, we weren't making any judgments yesterday either.
At all. I love the show.
All right, yeah, I'll say this. Brownie and I are uncomfortable talking about it because we're obviously in a part where we work for the club.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, here's this. And this is coming from me as a former player, and I've seen some stuff in my day, both as a player and as a broadcaster for the NFL over 20 years. You can say what you want about how high profile the National Football League is and how much money they pay these guys. When it comes to personal matters between a guy and his significant other, it's hard for the league to get inside of that and start making, particularly since you said it, since they're paying the guy $20 million and they don't want to flush that money. It's that simple. So you can say what you want. This is a personal thing between Vaughn and his significant other, and apparently it's not the first time. And now she's saying, no, nothing happened. What is everybody supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Are we going to leave them to their own? Are we going to do what most people do in their private lives? Let them work it out. Help them if we can. Not help them. So what the problem is? The
felony charges.
Yeah, we recognize that.
Yeah, but what are we going to do?
That.
What are we going to do?
You put him on administrative leave, and you don't let him into One Bills Drive or whatever it's called. You don't do that. You wait until you hear from both parties, and you let this play out, and he doesn't touch a football because that's what's important to your organization.
Mark, I'll tell you this right now. That wouldn't happen for any employee in any company just about. Sometimes it would.
You don't think
but other times it wouldn't be made public. It wouldn't. Mark, listen to me. Let me finish. It wouldn't be made public.
That's right.
There would be laws against it being made public. There would be policies in place for which there are.
Steve, every arrest is made public. You can look on your phone right now who's been arrested.
That's right, but
mugshot.
That's right.
I don't understand. These guys are held to a higher standard, Steve.
Why?
This isn't because they're making $30 million a year. There are kids watching at home. These guys are role models. I'm not looking at, and it's no disrespect. I don't expect nobody to follow me to work and take pictures and hear what I have to say at the end of my shift. I mean, these guys you got youngsters looking up to these guys. You know that. I mean, come on.
So wait, what should you say? So you think they should just kick Vaughn to the curb and say thanks anyway?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't.
Well, that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying send him home and leave him off until, and then what? And then what? What happens when you're paying a guy $20 million and this all turns into a puff of smoke?
A puff of smoke. Steve,
a puff of smoke. That's what Matt Araiza ended up being. It was a puff of smoke. Matt Araiza was dragged through the media for 6 months because they said he raped a girl, gang raped a girl at a party in college, and it turns out he was never even there. And what happens if something like that happens to Vaughn? Or all this comes out and it was all something different than what we think it was. Now what?
Yeah. Mark, I had to let you go because we're up against the break here. The only point I was trying to make yesterday was the process was a lot further along with the Araiza situation than with the Vaughn situation. You heard Brandon Beane yesterday said we're still gathering information. All they have is Vaughn's account of the situation. So I think it's an uncomfortable place to be. There's no question about it. But I think until they want to let the information help them make the decision. And the sense I got from Brandon Beane yesterday is they just don't have enough information yet.